In this video, I'll be discussing Windows PowerShell. In particular, I'm going to be talking about Get-Host Cmdlet, which is a hash table. And I'm going to demonstrate that one for this video. The Get-Host command is a commandlet of PowerShell, which provides a key value pair. This key pair value basically is a list of keys and values. And if this is the key, for example, get-host is the command. The key is name, the value is console host. The key is version, the version number is 7.52. And the instant ID and that information, all of that one is key value pair. So I'm going to be discussing that one. Let's go through some demo and examples. We go over that one, and with that, we get started. So welcome to MyWebUniversity, my YouTube channel, where you can go to my English channel for YouTube videos. I have more than 1.7K of videos. You're welcome to watch these videos. And basically, it's videos about computer science and IT. And then also I have videos on for C language. If you speak the RHEL or for C, you're welcome to watch these ones. As well as I have a book online that I wrote, the entire Linux manual pages and Linux documentation, commandlets, everything. There's about 15 chapters that you're welcome to watch them. Some of them are basic Linux commands that you can actually go in a table and practice them. And the same thing with chapter 3, intermediate, advanced, and shell script, and so on. And then there's a lot of hundreds of thousands technical documentation on Linux distribution of Fedora, Red Hat, Ubuntu, you can name it, the Rocky. And then I have a lot of documentation here that is in both PDF and HTML format. So I wrote a Python program to generate those ones for you, so you don't have to buy books. But at the same time, if you're like on chapter 4 and you're in advanced, you can see this list of tables that with list of commands that you can come and practice them online. And then you can also watch my videos for the same topic that I discussed, as well as could go in there and search for a particular video that you're interested. Like this video is from 0 to Hero on Red Hat. It's about 4 hours long, 4.12 hours. It is going to teach you a lot of stuff. This is Python, R language, MySQL. So you can name it. There's a lot of cybersecurity stuff, C, Python, Rocky, Linux, Sun Solaris, PDF, and everything, MySQL, Fedora, kernel of Linux, and then bash scripting, shell scripting, and a lot of other stuff. So let's get started with this video on the topic. So I'm going to just open a terminal. As you can see, I'm on a Windows terminal, and I have marked my views here for the desktop, these icons that I don't want to see it, so you have a clear screen. The way you do it as a shortcut, you could just click on views and say show desktop icon or don't show it. So at this time, I'm not showing it, so you can see a very nice interface here on whether you're clicking on the terminal. And this terminal, I'm on the, by default on PowerShell. User Wahid is my profile directory. And then if I just type in pwd, it print working directory or present working directory. It shows that I'm on user Wahid directory. If I cd to the root directory and do a pwd, I'm on the root directory, present working directory. Get-location is also going to show you that one. It's basically alias pwd, and pwd is an alias to the commandlet get-location. So if I just say get-host, and this is going to run the get-host commandlet, which is a key value pair that I just explained to you. This is a hash table. A hash table is a data structure that you could say it's a keys values pairs basically some name followed by a value for it, some version followed by a version number. So all of that information is stored into a data structure. You could call this key value pairs also in Python like a data dictionary, or in C, a map data structure. So a lot of these data structures are defined in a given programming language. In this case, it is called a hash table on PowerShell that is saying that this key has a value. So if I just use that as an object and say the parentheses and then host name, this also gave me the information and that structure saying that this is an object now. So the object has some properties. One of the properties is a version. So if I say this object instance of a get-host, give me the version of it, which is the property of it. It says the value of this version is major, minor, build, and division. But all of these ones is because it's a data structure, you could just point to each field. So you could say, give me the major version. And then you see, you get the value of 7. And then say, give me the minor version. So let me just move, zoom out of the way so I can see what I'm typing here. And then minor right there, you can see that minor. Same thing with the belt. If you see the belt is 2, and then same thing with revision. So that is -1. But if you want all of them, you could just say that version. Or if you say, give me that dot name, then you say that is console host. If you say dot and then press tab, this one is going to traverse every time you press tab, it goes through the list of variables that are defined or properties, attributes that are there. So instant ID, if I want to get that on instant ID, I get this one. Notice here, if I just say N, then I press, it says, okay, name is one of them. If I just type in .v for version, and then automatically it says the version is another one of them. So here, if you just type in dot and then some of the tab, you could do current culture, or you could just say dot and then go through the list. Current culture, debugger enabled. So the option debugger enabled is true. All of these are attributes to the object name get-host. And then you can see that the list is on and on, instance ID, name, private data. Private data is all that. That by itself is a key value pair. So you can see that if I just go the private data, and then I could just say format. As soon as I type in format, and then format, let's see. I'm gonna just try to do a dot here and then cut and paste this one to see if I get the color, yes. And the same thing that if I just do instead of this, notice that if I tab it, for some reason, it was not showing up. Maybe sometimes the character had to be unique. In this case, it was. But notice that if I do tab here, it doesn't work. So I have to type in there enough to just identify it as different, and that is string. So I'm going to do error accent color, and then let's do that one, dot error accent color, so it's easier to cut and paste from this value, and then you can see that it is getting there. And then same thing with the other one. So like if I just do this and say dot and go through the list, instance ID, name, private data, UI, we already got the output, version, we already got, enter nested prompt. Notice that one is a function. So you could say this is a function, and if you just have this, and you provide it and says void enter nested prompt, and then it takes arguments, so you could just return nothing out of it. And then there's a lot on this get-host hash key pair. So some of those key pair has sub-nested hash tables itself, like equals, if you could compare equality. These are functions, methods, and we call it an object-oriented, we call it methods, and function program is called functions. Exit nested, exit get host code, and then get host type, all of that are functions. Current culture, and then debug, and then we went through those ones like get host type, and then you could see the host type information is there. It's public, it's serial, and then so you could say that method dot is public, and that one will give you false. And similarly for the dot name will give you the internal host information. So you can see the base type is going to give you the base type of the system. And that's system.object. So it is very nice that the get host is very clear command. So you could say get-host, and as you know, PowerShell is case insensitive, when meaning that I could type in lowercase and I could type in a combination of uppercase, lowercase. The command is going to convert to uppercase first, and then it runs an assembly code and it works. So PowerShell is case insensitive. However, Linux, if you're in the environment, you have to type in the case sensitivity matters. So if it's lowercase, you have to type it lowercase. Then also, if I clear screen here, say get dash command, I could say star get dash host, and then I could say give me a list of all the commands that are for get dash host here. So this is get dash command is very helpful, and then you can get all the commands that are there. And then at the same time, if you say get dash command, get dash host, you say show me anything that is start with the host. So all of those ones that are functions or commandlet, you can get it. And get dash host is one of them. Out dash host is output to the host. Read dash host is read it. Clear dash host, clear the screen. So if I say alias clear command, you can see it's equivalent to get dash clear. So whether I type in clear here or this, and I say get dash post dash clear, actually clear dash host was the command. So alias clear was saying that command is there. So the command is combination of the syntax of verb followed by noun. Clear is the verb, and then host. And so get dash host, get is the verb, and then host is the noun. And then similarly, clear is the alias for get dash host. Clear dash host. And the command alias for get dash host, there's no alias for it, but most likely there is one. So you could say alias, and you could say show me all the aliases. This would be the command. And if you say find strings like I, escape with the host, see if any of the command that has the list of them right here. Clear is the clear host, clear screen also is clear host, OH is out host. But you can also assign aliases, create aliases for a command. And so one of the way is set dash alias is that, for example, if I just say get host is equal, and then get dash host, that is okay. Set alias get host. Set alias command is pipeline position 1. So value is get dash host. So right here, get host is now not defined because the syntax is space followed by space. Now get dash host will do the same thing. So set alias, now if I say alias gh for get host, this and doing that one. So we just did that one. And then you can remove the alias and then assign it. But if you exit out of this session, automatically dies on it. So now if I just say, what about a variable? Can I just assign that variable? So I don't have to type in get host here and then make it an object and make it an object and type something like, for example, dot name here. So let me just remove these other ones. Because I press tab, automatically I pinned those ones. So get the dot host, get dash host dot name is there, but you can also say h is equal, for example, host name is equal, or host h is equal, and then say get dash host. Now, h has to be a variable. So in PowerShell, it's not like Bash that you define h as a variable and then echo $h. But in PowerShell, you have to say $h. Now, the env, $env colon h will give me the value. No, actually, let's see, $h. No, let me just say $h would give me the value. That is one way. And then another way you could use braces around it, and then the version that would also give you that. So $h, you don't have to say braces around it. It also still work with it. But if you have a string that is spaces between them, then you have to put it in between braces, which is kind of interpolated correctly. At this time, like we defined that one, so $h is the host value. I could say $h dot version, and I could get the same hash table with all the values, and then dot major, I get the version 7. So and if I just say uppercase h is the same as lowercase h, because case sensitivity is not there. And then some of the environment variables that are part of the, earlier I said $env, so they're system defined variable like path, for example. You could get this one, if you type in path in uppercase, it is still there. Once you restore and save the files, the variables into the environment variables, then later on you can use it with $env there. And then if you do a get dash help env, you get a list of all the environments. But at the same time, I was showing you get dash command restore host. Notice that there are a lot of them. So if you just need specifically commands like that one to get help on it, you could just say get help, get dash host, and then you will get a list of the commands here. All the commands with the get host are there. At the same time, if you just say, show me with examples, then it will tell you some of the examples here. There are 6 examples. You can practice them and just get a different output for it. Like I showed you the example that I assigned it to a variable, and then you could get the information based on those UI and then our windows, and then assign different value for it and so on. At the same time, you could also do like the example I showed you. And instead of dash example, you could say details. Detailed is the word right here, detail. So if you just forgot the parameter passing it, get dash help, get dash host, examples, dash detailed, and dash full, and dash online. I like the dash full also because it gives you a full description. Some of them between the detail and another one, you can compare them, see what is missing in one, why they have both of them. And some of them, they have more full description. Some of them are more details. But I like the online option. Online option, it will actually open up the PowerShell stuff there. and then we'll just give you example by examples. At the same time, if you're on MyWebUniversity, remember I told you that I wrote the entire documentation. This documentation is not just for Red Hat or Rocky or Red Hat or Ubuntu, but it is on a lot of different platforms. So if you're looking for a dynamic generation of Linux manual pages, here you come in and then you could search for anything and then just relate it to that stuff. And then if I just have something on it, like for example, let's say Python, and there's documentation for it. I generate you Python PDF documentation on the fly, and then that's 7 pages. But notice that you have their HTTPS, and there's you can do Control F search for HTTPS. There's a lot of them, right? So if I just make this a little bit bigger, not this python.org, docs.python.org. So if you're going to python.org website, you can go to the documentation page and then see thousands of other documentation at your fingertips. So that is one thing that my website also help you. At the same time, if you're on my website, let's say you're on the main page and you say, go to chapter 4, and then from chapter 4, you say, give me a list of all the technical documentation that Wahid, you just say that Linux, Windows to technical documentation. Click here and I generate you about 66,000 PDF files for different platforms. So like Red Hat, you can see 12,000 PDF files. So if you're looking for a GCC compiler, you just type in here, click here, and then you can just get all the technical documentation here. There's about, this one is 678 pages. So you don't need to buy books, the whole PDF manual pages that was in text, I generated in PDF and I provide you on my website on the PDF version. So you can get that one. At the same time, if you say, how about open ACC, then if you search for something like that, there's 8 of them, 1 of 8, and then you say, show me those ones. Let me just go to the next one. And then you can see here, OpenACC, there's a lot of OpenMPI and other ones that you can go to their website and then search for documentation for further. So let's do HTTPS and see how many of them are there. You see this GitHub website that is there, 2 of 9. So you could see, and the first one is GitHub, and then GitHub information and C language, CLang. And then similarly for Go language is Golang, and then Ruby, Python, every one of them. If you search on the dynamic, I generate you the PDF files there. And then, so some of these websites are very cool because once you go to developer.arm.com, for example, you click on this one, I take you there, and then you see that there's nice information there. And then development and everything that is there, supported documentation. So all of that, the tools are at your fingertips. By just visiting my website, I take you to 1,000 websites, the hundreds of thousands, millions of websites with documentation. And you might just say, what do you mean millions of documentation? Well, let's just go on the dynamic generation and search for something like go-build. And then go-build, I just generate you this PDF file, but this is only 3 pages. You might say, Wahid, that's 3 pages. What do you mean? Look at this, golang.org, and then you do again, Control F, and then search for HTTPS. And then the page that comes out with the reference, I take you to the website there, go.dev.reference. So all of this documentation is at your fingertips. You just come in docs, and then from there, you just go to Go user manual and then read all these thousands of documentation. And then you say, Wahid, you are claiming there's millions, and this is just for Go language. How about Node.js, for example? Yeah, just type in like Node JS, a node here, and then I generate you a Node.js, a node.pdf here, and then here Control F, HTTPS, and notice that there's GitHub, nodejs.org, and then I take you to the Node.js. Then again, download the stuff if you want to download the software, and then if you just want to use it, all these modules are there. So thousands of other stuff there. At the same time, if you say, what about something like Ruby? Yeah, just type in Ruby here, and then I take you to this PDF file, and then from here, Control F, HTTPS. So you don't need to buy books, dude. And just, I said, dude, students, whatever, friends, families, you could share this information with your loved ones and friends, and they will appreciate you. So there's a lot of documentation online that you can learn any programming language that you're interested. What do I mean by any programming? Let's say you're interested in Java's programming language. I just generated you this Java programming language documentation. So here you can still do Control HTTPS, even though it's 53 pages on this one, but every time docs.oracle.com is Oracle merged with Sun Microsystem in 2011, I believe. I purchased Sun Microsystem. I believe it was 2011. So now Java is part of Oracle. So is MySQL. So a lot of other Sun Microsystem, Solaris operating system. And then Oracle, now you can see Java Virtual Machine is a part of this there. So you can see if you go on this one, like English version, Java Standard Edition, version 12, if you just delete these lines here, you could just say, take me to the JDK, Java Development Kit, or Java Standard Environment, or anything. All of these ones by version, you can see them. So JDK 12, 24, and then you can see documentation, downloads, everything, libraries, and so on. So then you say, Wahid, again, let's go to your website, and then from here, how do you go to that documentation? You come into MyWebUniversity, you click on the direct path to Linux Ubuntu, and then look for chapter 12, the dynamic generation of Linux Ubuntu. So at this time, if I am interested in ZSH, Z shell, which is a superset of bash, then you can just read the documentation. And notice https zsh.org is there with all the documentation here. And if you just go to .org website here, you can see the documentation. You can State of America, and then manual pages, and then PDF formats, European format, or English format, like United States format. It's all in there. And then if you need the HTML version of it, you could just click on the HTML to download, or just HTML to browse. And then each one of them, like if you click on the files, for example, it shows you certain files information there and certain other ones. At the same time, if you say, what about, let's say chapter 12, what about why we did Ruby? How about something we did Python? Let's say something like old stuff, Perl. See if we have something with Perl. Yes, we do. So because Perl is part of the Linux manual pages, so I generate you this, and then if I say Perl doc or anything you're looking for, is these commands are already in the PDF format there. However, you could search for HTTPS and then go to perl.org website or perl.com website and read all of that one. And if I just come here and go to perl.com website, that's another page, it takes me to all of that. So there's a lot of documentation on this stuff. You're welcome to explore, and if you haven't subscribed, Okay, as you can see on my website, I showed you a lot of the documentation, but if you go to youtube.com at MyWebUniversity, this is my channel handle. You're welcome to subscribe, and you're going to watch a lot of nice videos here to learn about computer science and IT and programming, operating system, database, and Windows subsystems. There's thousands of videos here that you're welcome to learn, including PowerShell. God bless you all. Take care. Have fun. Bye-bye.